is Manuel Noras, and I am CEO and owner of Noras MRI Products. Since our funding in 1985, we established ourselves as specialized pioneers in MRI coil technology, with a very strong focus on interventional MRI. In particular, our coils play a crucial role in MR-guided breast biopsy, as well as intraoperative neuroimaging, enabling real-time MRI support during surgery. Additionally, close collaborations with our customers allow us to always identify new niche field applications, such as dental MRI, planning of MR-guided radiotherapy, or pediatric MRI. Thanks to our skilled team and its specialized expertise, our high-quality product solutions not only offer new diagnostic and therapeutic possibilities, but also contribute to improved workflows and better overall patient care. Together with our trusted and long-standing partners, we are aiming to develop individual and advanced solutions in order to make MRI more efficient and accessible. To ensure that our products meet the highest regulatory and safety standards, we are certified under MDR, ISO 13485, FDA, and other market authorizations worldwide. Customer orientation, strong partnerships, and a passionate team. Thanks to these, we are shaping the future of MRI coil applications.
Even as a child, I had the spirit of an inventor. At the age of 14, I began my apprenticeship with Bosch as an automotive electrician. Often, I repaired things that others had already given up on. After 17 years, I moved into the field of medical technology. At the University Hospital of Würzburg, I maintained surgical and diagnostic devices, always aware that these instruments were used to examine, to treat, and even to operate on human beings. That was a true responsibility. In 1985, I met Dr. Wolfgang Keil, one of the very first doctors in Germany, almost even worldwide, to acquire an MRI scanner. For me, it was a new challenge. I became self-employed and founded Noras Medizintechnik. At first, I built non-magnetic furniture. Then Dr. Keil said to me, "The scanner is good, but we need coils." At that time, I did not even know what an MRI coil was. 1 week later, at Siemens in Erlangen, I met Professor Hermann Reckwart, then head of MRI development. He gave me a few hints on coil design. So I bought a small lathe, set up a workshop in my basement, and built my first spine coil, oval and body-conforming, the very first of its kind worldwide. For Dr. Keil, I also developed additional coils, including special body-shaped designs, and even a flexible coil that did not exist anywhere at that time. Soon after, Dr. Keil tragically died in an accident, and I had to start all over again. In 1990, in Zuhl, Thuringia, I founded a second company and became Siemens' representative for electromedical devices. A key partner for my success was Klaus Graf Schenk von Stauffenberg, my Siemens advisor in the field of electromedicine, covering EKG devices, ultrasound, and physiotherapy equipment. Through our cooperation, we soon ranked among the top 10 Siemens dealers in Germany. At a later company celebration, Graf Stauffenberg remarked in his speech, "In truth, you are not only among the top 10, you are second, if not the very first." But Siemens ended production of small devices and focused only on large systems: X-ray, CT, and MRI. Once again, I had to start anew. In the United States, I met Tom Schubert, the founder of MRI Devices Corporation. We shook hands on a partnership. I represented his products in Europe. For his open breast coil, I developed the first MRI breast biopsy system that could be used inside the tunnel. This was a real breakthrough. At a congress in Cannes, I met Professor Werner Kaiser, head of radiology in Jena. Shortly afterward, my biopsy system was performed live in Leipzig on a General Electric 0.5 Tesla MRI. Through Professor Reckwart, who had become head of Siemens Healthcare, I gained another opportunity. I told him, "If you allow our biopsy coils to be connected to Siemens systems, Professor Kaiser will purchase a Siemens MRI. Philips does not permit it, and Philips will be out." And so it happened. Suddenly, our products were represented worldwide through Siemens and General Electric. We worked with leading physicians, Professor Hewang Kobrunner, Professor Fischer, Professor Kaiser, Professor Christiana Kuhl, the best experts in breast diagnostics with MRI. Then Siemens came with a new request. They needed a head holder for brain surgery in the MRI. Earlier tests in Heidelberg and Erlangen had used a head frame made of Pertinax, but it was not stable enough. We developed a new head holder, made of fiber-reinforced material, with a flexible coil top. Later, we created a head holder that fit inside the Siemens head coil for 1.5 Tesla systems. But surgical access was still limited. Together with Professor Fahlbusch and Professor Nimsky, we developed a completely new head holder with an integrated coil. For the first time, this allowed open brain surgery with MRI guidance on a 1.5 Tesla Siemens system. It was a sensation. Siemens' next project took us to Istanbul, Turkey, where the first such procedure was performed on a 3 Tesla Siemens scanner. It was a great success. Over the years, we delivered coils and head holders for Siemens, Philips, and General Electric. With Tom Schubert, I founded MRI Devices Europe in Germany and became managing director. After both companies were sold to a large corporation, I stepped back. Working inside a big corporation was not my world. I wanted to follow my own ideas. My first development was a high-resolution 8-channel coil designed for both research and diagnostic examinations. I developed a 4-channel biopsy coil, took it under my arm, and went directly to Siemens. Negotiations were tough, but in the end, Siemens accepted it into their program. I closed my 2 companies, Noras Medizintechnik in Suhl and Noras Röntgen Medizintechnik und Laborhandel in Würzburg. Then, I founded Noras MRI Products GmbH. From that moment on, I focused entirely on the development of my own MRI products. Later, together with my son and our physicists, we developed the B.7, a 7-channel coil. It is still ordered by Siemens today. This made us an official OEM supplier of Siemens. At international congresses, our booth was always crowded with physicians. They came with new ideas, and we often found solutions for them. We also provided opportunities for students to complete their master's theses. In time, I handed the company over to my son. I am proud that the name Noras continues, and I'm confident that he will carry the work forward successfully. In life, you sometimes get only one single chance, and then it depends on recognizing it and seizing it. I was fortunate enough to see such chances. Many times, I started projects where others said, "That is impossible." But that only motivated me. It takes courage, it takes energy, and it takes a true spirit of invention. I've had many special experiences, but one of them was especially funny. I had to give a lecture, and I was not used to that at all. So I practiced at home, in front of the mirror. I wrote big notes for myself, but nothing really helped. Then I came up with a clever trick. I made a film about my work. I was invited to a congress in Saragossa by Professor Sanchez. So there I was, standing on the stage, the microphone in front of me. I started my film, and I simply did playback, in front of 200 people. Afterwards, Professor Sanchez came to me, looked at me with surprise, and said, "Mr. Noras, I don't understand. Last night we had to speak English, and today you give your lecture in perfect Spanish?" And I replied, "Well, that was my trick." Everyone laughed, and until today, I am still good friends with that professor. I realized my own ideas, and when someone came to us with a new idea, we turned it into a product together. That was the true spirit of our company. N-O-R-A-S. Noras.
Also berufliche Meilensteine gab es auch einige in den letzten Jahren. Da fällt mir vor allem die BI7 ein. Das war ein Auftragsprojekt von Siemens. Erstmal ein Pitch, den wir damals auch gewonnen haben. Und ich habe auch die Verhandlungen damals geführt. Und wir haben als Firma, ich sag mal, diesen Meilenstein auch für uns dann errungen. Zusammen mit dem Daniel Gareis, der die Entwicklung dann geleitet hat, haben wir ein paar Jahre später dann den Launch gefeiert. Und das ist rückblickend ein sehr toller Meilenstein, weil es auch bisher immer noch unser wichtigstes oder eines unserer wichtigsten Produkte ist. Ein weiterer Meilenstein ist auch die Markteinführung der Variety-Multifunktionsspule nach USA, also die US-Markteinführung. Da War damals, ich sag mal, ein Stück weit eine Lücke im Portfolio von der Firma Siemens. Es gab keine hochkanaligen Flexspulen und die hat die Variety erfüllt und zusammen mit so dedizierten Lagerungshilfen konnten wir dann den Markt da gewinnen, haben einige im Feld dort, weit über 100 und war zur damaligen Zeit eine Erfolgsgeschichte, würde ich sagen. Ein bisschen trockeneres Thema ist die MDR-Einführung. Jedes MedTech-Unternehmen hat sich damit irgendwo auseinandersetzen müssen die letzten Jahre. Wir waren in der Vergangenheit, ich sag mal, eher orientiert auf pragmatisches Entwickeln, schnelles Entwickeln, anwenderorientiertes Entwickeln. Da waren die QM-Sachen, ich sag mal, eher basic. Und da war mit der MDR das einfach nicht mehr ausreichend. Deswegen waren es nicht leichte Modifikationen, sondern es musste wirklich von Grund auf Struktur reingebracht werden. Es mussten Mitarbeiter geschult werden, hatten externe Berater hier, Prozesse neu aufgesetzt. Also es war wirklich ein Riesenprojekt. War auch am Anfang doch sehr schwierig, aber wir waren am Ende dann, ich glaube, einer der ersten 5 Firmen, die von unserer benannten Stelle, dem TÜV Süd, dann das MDR-Zertifikat erhalten hat.
Ich kenne Noras seit vielen Jahren. Ich wünsche erstmal herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag, zum runden Geburtstag. Ich habe nicht ganz genau nachgezählt, wie lange ich jetzt Noras kenne, aber irgendwann habe ich mal den Seniorchef Hubert Noras kennengelernt. Ich habe damals noch bei Siemens gearbeitet. Dann hat er mir die Geschichte erzählt, dass irgendwann mal ein erstes MRT-System nach Würzburg gekommen ist, bei einem Herrn Coils, glaube ich, hieß der Herr. Und da hat sich der Hubert Noras gedacht, man könnte die Spulen daran vielleicht noch ein bisschen besser machen. Und das hat er dann auch einfach gemacht. Ein paar Jahre früher hat er irgendwann mal die Röntgenstrahlen erfunden. Dann hat auch wieder ein Franke, ein Herrn Geppert in Erlangen, die ersten Röntgenröhren gebaut. So ähnlich stelle ich mir das auch damals vor, dass es losgegangen ist. Da ist ja dann auch eine größere Firma draus entstanden. So ist Noras entstanden. Und ich finde halt an Noras ziemlich cool, dass die doch eine Just-Do-It-Approach zu ihren Produkten haben und Produkte für Kunden bauen. Und darum arbeiten wir sehr gerne mit Noras zusammen. Noras in 3 Worten, Just Do It.
Schon lange her. Der Kontakt kam über den Fachverband, glaube ich. Da habe ich den Hubert kennengelernt, also den Firmengründer, den Hubert Noras, als wirklich innovativen Technologen, dem es gelungen ist, eine tolle Firma auf die Beine zu stellen, die sich auf die Herstellung von Kernspintomographie-Spulen spezialisiert hat. Fränkisch, innovativ, zukunftsorientiert.
Ich kenne Hubert Noras seit Anfang der 90er Jahre. Wir hatten immer mal wieder was miteinander zu tun. Wir auf der interventionellen Seite, Firma Noras, mehr im Bereich der Spulen, der Lagerungen im MRT und ist da in meinen Augen ganz weit führend auf dem Sektor. Ich will sogar sagen, ganz vorne hier in der Spulentechnologie zusammen für die MRTs. Und ich wünsche alles Gute der Firma Noras für die nächsten Jahrzehnte. Weiterhin so viel Erfolg. Und Manuel hat jetzt die Firma übernommen und wird sie jetzt so weiterführen, glaube ich, im Sinne von seinem Vater. Und da freue ich mich darüber sehr, dass man hier das Wachstum sieht. Das ist eine gute Frage. Also eigentlich fallen mir natürlich, gerade jetzt in Wien, wir sind ja hier in Wien, fallen mir die Abende ein, die wir zusammen verbringen konnten mit der Familie Noras. Und es war grundsätzlich immer lustig. Also von daher würde ich jetzt nicht auf ein spezielles Event abzielen, aber immer sehr, sehr positiv und lustig, ja.
Noras kenne ich tatsächlich seit 11 Jahren. Ich bin selber seit 11 Jahren im Auftrag von der Patientenlagerung für die Radiologie unterwegs. Und eine meiner ersten Begegnungen war damals an der RSNA in Chicago, die Firma Noras, und habe damals auch einen Manuel kennengelernt und wir waren quasi Standnachbarn damals. Innovation, dynamisch und absolute Spulenkompetenz.
Bei Noras sind wir in Kontakt im Grunde genommen schon seit über 15 Jahren, weil wir arbeiten hier alle in einer kleinen Nische und sehen uns auf den Messen immer wieder und haben halt schon mehrfach versucht, da auch irgendwo Synergien zu finden, um gemeinsam unsere Produkte zu verbessern oder die Anforderungen von den Kunden besser zu verstehen und da halt die kleinen Firmen so ein bisschen gemeinschaftlich besser aufzutreten. innovatives, nach wie vor junges Unternehmen mit vielen speziellen Ideen, die andere so nicht anbieten.
Oh, I think we got in touch a couple of years ago, exploring the IMRI field together and looking at how we might work together towards that field. So yeah, some years ago, I guess 21 or yeah. Authentic, high quality, and innovative.
Hubert Noras. As a child, he grew up among the ruins of Würzburg. He began his career as an automotive electrician. Without any academic training, but with skilled craftsmanship, with courage, and with an inventive spirit, he dared to take the step into medical technology. From a simple idea, in 1985, the very first body-conforming spine coil was created, designed for magnetic resonance imaging, MRI. It was an absolute novelty. At that time, nobody knew whether this innovation could even work from a physical point of view. There were no examples to follow, no laboratory standards, no automated testing procedures. There was only one goal: to serve people better through technical means. Hubert Noras himself became the very first test subject. In the very first year, he lay inside the scanner more than 100 times, with prototypes that he had built with his own hands. The first test took place in cooperation with Siemens in Würzburg, the only place where the correct frequency tuning could be achieved. Everything else was trial and error. It was courage, improvisation, and trust in his own idea. Today, decades later, much has changed. His son, Manuel Noras, has led the company into the next generation, with new technology, with clear regulatory requirements, and with extensive test procedures. Today, an idea cannot simply be tried out. It must first be scientifically explained, ethically approved, carefully documented, and financially secured before it can even be tested for the very first time. What once was courage has now been replaced by validation. What once was risk is now replaced by protocols. What once was intuition is now replaced by statistics. Manuel Noras says today, with a smile, "Back then, things were easier. You had an idea, and you just did it. And if there was no test subject available, there was Hubert. Whether the old way was better or the new way is safer remains an open question. But one thing is certain. In 40 years of product development, there has never been a single case where a patient was harmed. On the contrary, many people gained more quality of life, some perhaps even more lifetime. Early detection saves lives, and the courage to innovate has made this possible."